All right, welcome back. If you notice a new background behind me, the problem is I'm in Taiwan. It's really hot in Taiwan. It's like 28 or 29 degrees. This would be probably like an 80-degree day. Like I'm probably going to go biking once I'm done with this. Uh, but anyways, so because of that, my room is hot and I need to keep the window closed. And it's warm enough I have to keep the window closed for the sounds, but it's not hot enough that I can turn on the AC. So I have my fan running and I'm sitting at this angle now so I can avoid the fan like blowing directly on me while keeping the room cool. Anyways, that's not important. What is important is Druid. Druid's dead. Like there's no other way to describe it. Druid is dead. So if you want to know why Druid is dead, it's because Druid lost it lost cards that made Druid work in the core set, and like this needs to be talked about. So there is a if you take a look at these cards, like they're okay, but the problem is you lost what made Druid work. You lost all your ability to go face from hand. You lost Starfall, you lost Swipe, you lost the charge on Druid of the Claw, and most importantly, you lost Savage Roar. So those four cards were very, very big components of Druids just being able to burst people to deal damage to them and kill them out of nowhere. And the replacement cards that you get, like Feral Rage, does not do it. The buff the Mark of the Wild does not do it. Druid of Claw, technically being a better minion, does not do it. So Druid, I honestly think it lost its core identity. It lost the key thing that made it work. And Forge and the Barrens really did not give Druid all that much. Like they gave them good cards, they gave them decent cards, but these cards do not make up for what Druid lost. So going over to cards. All right. Celestial Alignment. Set each player's mana crystals to 0, set the cost in all hands and decks to 1. The use of this card is you are ahead on board and you want to cement whatever lead you have on board, so you play this. And then you force your opponent to only be able to play one card or maybe one card a turn or two cards a turn and then three cards a turn and so on. And it becomes a lot less likely for them to have the resources in hand or to generate the resources to clear your board. So does that make this card good? No. It's a 0-star card. Like if you get it off of RNG effects, there are times where this is going to be good, but usually it's not going to be. Thick-Hide Kodo. 4-mana 3/5 taunt, death rattle, gain 5 armor. We've seen similar cards like this. Demon Hunter had the one card, the 3/5 Ash Tongue Fell Slayer, something like that. So the card, like, it's not bad. It's a 3-star card. Like, yeah, as I said, it's not bad. It's a 3-star card. Druid has mild taunt and beast synergy, but it's not really all that great. Okay, Thorngrove Sentries. Summon 2/1/2 turtles with taunt. You can compare this to Air Raid. Air Raid gives you 4 1/1s with taunt, but this is the 1/2s are a lot stronger than the 1/1s. So for any like token-based synergy, this is fine. For anything like taunt, there is mild taunt synergy with the card we'll see later that can make this decent. Like overall, I'd say it's a 2-star card. It's like compare it to Dreamwave Guardians. Dreamwave Guardians gave you lifesteal. This gives you taunt. I would say taunt is more valuable than lifesteal. So yeah, ultimately 2-star card. And we can see here the little turtles. Pride's Fury, 4 mana. Give your minions +1/+3. So, problem with this card, we have Soul of the Forest already. Soul of the Forest effectively gives your minions +2/+2 as a death rattle and makes them stickier. This gives them an attack buff, which should be better, but the problem with that is that one attack really does not dictate trades all that much. There's a reason that the Paladin buff a minion for 1/2 on 1 was significantly worse than 2 mana buff your minion for +2/+2. So 1/3, it's not really. I'm gonna say it's not really a great buff. It's a buff for kind of like stabilizing or something, but it's not a buff for attacking or generating traits. So the immediacy of it compared to Soul of the Forest, I think it's a little bit better there. But again, it's like it's a little bit better of a Soul of the Forest. So that's like a low 2-star card for me. Plague Maw Rotting. After a friendly minion with taunt dies, summon a new copy without taunt. So here are my issues with the card. Number 1, it's understated by itself. Number 2, it's going to be very hard to immediately trigger this effect. Because if your minion has taunt, it's probably going to die anyways because the opponent is going to kill it off. If your minion with taunt lives, you're probably not going to have something to trade it into the opponent with anyways to get this effect. So you want to play this like the same turn you have taunts for the tempo, and I think that just like it hinders the card. Ultimately, I would say it's a 1-star card. Like there are situations where this is going to work. All right, Resume Battleguard. 2 mana, 2/3. The first taunt minion cost each turn costs 2 less. You play this and a taunt minion on the same turn, it's a 0 mana 2/3. You play this on 2, your opponent can't remove it. On turn 3, you play something like a Teacher's Pet, you are massively in the lead. So, problem. Number 1, Druid, a lot of their taunt minions are either spells, like the 2 mana 1/2 guys. Where are they? Here. These guys, they're not taunt minions, so they're not counted by the discount. Things like Druid of the Claw or Ancient of War, which are your taunt minions, they are not affected by the discount because they're choose ones. So there's a lot of taunt minions that you get in Druid that are not going to be impacted by this. So they're still good taunts, though. Again, like you play this with Smug Senior, that's good. You play this with like the 3 mana 2/4 that heals for 5, that heals for 3 or whatever. That's solid. So it's a 2-drop. It does something in the mid to late game that is pretty decent. And if you really are going to go for that, whatchamacallit, the token synergy, getting more bodies for cheap on the board is good. So I'd say it's a low 3-star card. It's probably like Bone Chewer Brawler level. So here, this plus Bone Chewer Brawler on 2 is something that is going to happen. All right, Gruff Rune Totem. After you cast a nature spell, give another friendly minion +2/+2. So you obviously need something on the board. So nature spells. If I go over here, get rid of Death Rattle, get rid of the mana here. Nature spells, there's 3 classes that have nature spells. They're Druid, they are Shaman, and they are Rogue. So I was looking this up yesterday in one of the chats. So where is it? Okay. Rank here. Druid. Ah, crap. I need to do this because I forgot to take off the Death Rattle here. Okay. So we get a spell schools for, and get rid of the mana thing here. Okay. Yep, this is highly professional. I agree. All right, get rid of this. Get rid of this. All right. So if we look at Druid class cards and we look at spells, there are 46 Druid spells in the set right now. If we take a look down here at, where was it? Nature. 25 of them are nature spells. And we can sort here by the nature spells, and we can see which cards you're going to want to draft. Crystal Power, Nature Studies, obviously really good. Crystal Song Portal, Iron Bark is good. Living Seed, Mark the Spite Show, good. Marks are good. Solar Eclipse is good. Sentries are good. Blessing of Ancients, really good. Jade Blossom, not so much. Landscaping is good. Wildgraph, not so much. Soul of the Forest, Arbor Up. Force of Nature is fine. Runic Carvings. So you see, there are a lot of good Druid nature spells. So I think that you are going to have things that go off here. Like, so just this plus, you're probably going to get like 2 or 3 things out of this. And getting 2 or 3 getting 1 buff out of this is really strong. Being able to get 2 or 3 buffs out of this is really, really powerful. So I'm torn on this card. Like, I think it has the potential to be a 5-star card. I would say it's a 4-star card right now, but I would not be surprised if this was a 5-star card when all is said and done, just because of how powerful those buffs can be. All right, Mark the Spike Shell, one of the buffs I was talking about. Give a minion +2/+2 if it has taunt. Add a copy of it to your hand. The copy, I'm pretty sure, does not maintain the +2/+2 buff. But again, you're Druid. You're going to get taunts, like we went over. So something like a Thick-Hide Kodo, obviously, you get another one in your hand. Thorngrove Sentries. You get a 1/2 in your hand, but a free 1/2 is better than nothing. Previously, you had the card Mark of Yasharj, which was this except for beasts. And I would say taunts are better than beasts here. And Mark of Yasharj, that was a really good card by itself. So yeah, this to me, this is an easy 4-star. Yeah, this is an easy 4-star card. It's a good buff. It has a good effect. And more taunts, like the more taunts you have, the better it is. Like it's one of those things where the synergy makes it better and better. Living Seed. Draw a beast, reduce its cost by 1, upgrades when you have 5 mana to 2 and 3. So compare this to what's the priest card? Compare this. I'm blanking on the priest card here. It's the corrupt effect where insight. Compare it to Insight. Insight is a card that is 2 mana, reduce any minion you draw by 0. This is tutoring out a beast, which I would say in Arena is worse because you might not have beasts. So, and Insight can be cast on like turn 4. The getting to turn 10 and reducing it to 3, I don't think is really all that good. Like, there are beasts where this is going to work, but ultimately it's 2 mana, draw a card. And a card like that is going to be just basically a 2-star card. Or so not 2-star, a 1-star card, like a low 1-star card. All right. Final card here. This is like the one broken card. This is the card you always want to draft. Druid of the Plains, 6-star card, no question about it. So 7 mana, 7/6, Frenzy, transform into a 6/7 Coda with Taunt. This is kind of like it's like a worse version of the Coilfang Warlord, the Demon Hunter 9/5 that when it died transformed into a 5/9. So Druid of the Plains, so it has to live. There are things that have 6 or more attack. Not much, but they do exist usually in the mid to late game. Like, just think about this. Think about someone plays a Smug Senior on 6. You play this, you run into the Smug Senior, you kill the Smug Senior, and then you generate a 6/7 out of that. That is going to happen way too much, even with this being an epic. So yeah, easy 6-star card. You pick this card over basically anything except like you might I don't think you pick it over Arbor Up. You might pick it over the Marsh Hydra, the 7 mana 7/7 that gives you an 8 drop. Like I'm not sure which one is better, but it's in that level. All right, so there's Druid. Druid got some taunt synergies, but I think like the loss of the core set and how much they are hurt, like I am really not sold on Druid. All right, when we come back, I will be doing Hunter. So I will see you guys then.